Hello and welcome to Dad's Job Podcast. This is your host Adam Leatherbarrow and Rob Horton and Callum Horton. Boys, this is the first official episode. How are we doing?
Good evening. I'm feeling good. I'm really excited actually. I've been looking forward to this all week. I'm looking forward to sharing some of our nonsense knowledge and what we think is going to happen this season. So, glad to be back from holiday. Looking forward to tell you all the good news and my ideas about the season going forward.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad everyone's been getting on all right. So where about you go on holiday then, Cal?
So I went to Mallorca.
Nice.
Yeah, it was absolutely lovely.
Home good weather. Samuel Eto'o.
And Rafa Nadal as well.
Rafa Nadal.
Yeah. He's got a tennis
Eto'o. He played there, didn't he, when he was on loan from Madrid? But go on, sorry.
Yeah. He's Rafa Nadal's got a tennis school there. So yeah, he's got a foundation there, and I've seen his new house. Oh my god! I went on a boat trip. I'll tell you later. But I went on a boat trip, saw his house on the coast. Adam, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But yeah,
decent. And Rob, what you went to up north, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to Durham. That was lovely. Doesn't quite compare to Mallorca, but it was very nice to go up there with the family. We went around Durham as well, and went around Durham Cathedral. That was incredible. We haven't really done anything like that with the kids, and then kind of like feel the magnitude of what they were doing. Danny got it more, but even Alea was kind of like, this is pretty cool. And actually where we went at Durham Cathedral is where they filmed a lot of the scenes for Harry Potter.
Nice.
So that was kind of like...
What particular scenes?
The scene in, I think, The Prisoner of Azkaban, or The Goblet of Fire, and Harry is outside in the snow with Hedwig.
Nice.
And then there's a part of it where all of the classroom scenes were filmed as well. So that was pretty cool, because obviously you grow up reading the books, you grow up watching the films, and so... Did Danny recognise them? Yeah, Danny got it. So like he could appreciate it because he's gone through the films now. So I think for Danny and Kelly particularly, who are, fans of the films more so than I am, they were all in. Yeah, it was really good.
Decent. As part of the introduction, then you suggested a really nice feature would be own goals, or was it family goals and own goals?
Yeah.
So family goals are positive. So what was the positive from your trip?
Well, yeah. So the family goals was that we went to Durham and had a lovely time, really, and like I said, going around the cathedral. But the own goal was I didn't take into account the 6 hours that I would be in the car with my kids. And
it's always a fun trip, isn't it?
Well, I work a lot and travel on the road to do it, so I spend a lot of time on my own in the car, and I didn't realise what it was like to have to share it for that period of time. So I went to some dark places. I'm not going to lie, there were some dark places there.
Well, Durham is pretty dark, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, it was so hot down south, and it was big coat weather up north. So it was an experience for sure.
Decent. What was your family goals and own goals?
So yeah, I mean, obviously, let's be honest, travelling is not always the greatest, but to be fair, Bo was fantastic going there. On the way back, he didn't have his nap, and the plane was a nightmare, and then decided to fall asleep literally as the plane was landing. So again, on the way home, driving from the airport was horrendous. But I suppose own goals was.
Oh, sorry, that was the.
that was just. I'm just agreeing with Rob that travelling's not great, mate. But own goal was. So I don't know whether or not to be worried about it, but I've been worried about Bo and his confidence a little bit, to be fair. And this is the second time we've gone to the same hotel, like family like hotel thing, and they do this obviously entertainment at night, and they dance, and all the kids get up the front, and you can imagine it's absolute controlled chaos. Parents running around after their kids are all dancing. However, Bo didn't want to dance, like didn't want to stand down there and dance, right? So what did Daddy have to do? Daddy had to hold him, and do the dances, because obviously they're like choreographed dancing, So you can imagine this 35-year-old man with 2.5-year-old in his arms trying to do the dancing. Yeah, in most nights it was still 30 degrees. Absolutely sweating. I'm not even lying to you. Like seriously, like it was like a 45 minutes dance routine.
Yeah.
I mean, like rings. Like I've not sweat that much, even in the gym, even doing like a cycling session. I mean, it was rings like ridiculous. Like people looking as you're walking past, like, wait, have you jumped in the pool or something, mate? Like, what's going on here? So obviously, Bo didn't want to dance, and I'm a bit worried that he wasn't confident enough to dance by himself, right? But I think every single other adult loved the fact that there was this 35-year-old man, like, proper going for it. Like, arms, motions, everything. Like, I was throwing both arm to arm so I could do the hand motions. Bo did enjoy that. And I think, like, every night he was like, Dad, we're going to go dance. But he just wouldn't dance. He was, like, so fascinated with the stage, just watching. And like I say, I was just sweating. However, the win was, Bo has never really liked water. Yeah, so he doesn't like baths. We take him swimming, but he's not a great swimmer. He doesn't like swimming, right? But obviously, we've had a week in the pool, basically, and the sea, to be fair. And he was jumping in the pool. Oh, you would love this, Adam, right? So you know, I said I think in my last one I was on about how he just loves watching sport. Yeah. So obviously, I said about Olympics. I can't wait to see his impact, like the impact the Olympics would have on him. Yeah. Adam, I swear to God, he had the whole swimming pool stand there watching. So he'd stand on the side, and you know, like the swimmers in the Olympics, they go in lane 4, whatever it is. And I was saying, like, and so I was saying to him, like, in lane 4, Bo, yeah, representing Great Britain, and he loves it when you go like ready, steady, go. And literally, he's doing all this, right? So then I'm throwing him in, I'm swimming to the other side of the pool, getting him out, then redoing it again. So then I thought, oh, do you know what? I'll just go ready, steady, go, because I'm not doing this whole big spiel every time I do it. No, Daddy, no. You've got to say Bo Horton from, Great Britain, all this. So that was a win. Like that's like you can see one, he connected with the Olympics, but he absolutely loved it. And also the beach. So like Rob, you came with us last year, didn't you? And he hated the sand. Like he would not even go on the sand. Wouldn't go in the sea, would he? Like we went to the beach, like we had a beach day, and he just sat there and he was building sandcastle. He dug a hole. He was like jumping in and out of the hole. And you just think, like in one aspect, his confidence weren't great, not like dancing, but actually on the other hand, I can see where his confidence is. So like, yeah, it was really nice. Like you could see that he got the most out, especially like the beach and the water, and that's obviously what you're going on the day for him for. And and he did enjoy the dancing part, not dancing, and obviously Dad looking like a donut. But yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I would say that's what my goals and own goals were.
Decent.
Adam,
And me?
any anecdotes for us?
Well, yeah. I mean, in terms of family goals, weekend just gone. Obviously, I've started this new job. Working for a developer, and they've started to have this family fun day, like a massive group fun day. And they said, yeah, bring your wife, bring your kids. Brilliant. So, okay. So that event was up in Liverpool Street, the Honourable Artillery barracks. Like there's like a Royal Artillery sort of base there, and there's like a cricket green in the middle, and then you've got like this function hall there. So inside it was like a kids' playroom. It was like ball pits, coconut shies, tin can alley, hooker duck, everything, arts and crafts, everything. And outside it was like Aperol spritz, champagne.
Yeah.
So Connie was loving it.
So you just left Connie with your wife?
Oh yeah, you say that, but I think she was, because now she's getting into like a little whirlwind. She's running around everywhere. She's not very obedient, like nowhere all the time. Very independent little girl, and so like literally there was everything there for her. She had a unicorn face paint. She made a crown for her granddad because it was her granddad's birthday that day, so we went there afterwards. She had different candy floss flavours. She was running around like a lunatic. Kids are like with sugar.
Yeah.
But the one thing I have to point out was she had an ice cream. And we was asking, we said, what flavours are there? They go, no, there's no flavours. So, well, that's a bit weird. Why wouldn't you have an ice cream with no flavours? But no, it's one flavour, but it's all the flavours. It's ever-changing ice cream. I'm like, nah, get out of it. This ain't right. So Connie's having it, and she's licking it. And she goes, Daddy don't want it anymore. Because I'm like, well, you've had a couple of bites. You must have liked it. She goes, no, Daddy don't, Mum, Connie don't like it. It's okay. So I took it off. I've had a bit, and I thought, it's pineapple and coconut. That's all right. Had a big beer. Went to taste it again. Blueberry. I went, what? So I taste it again. Peach. I'm like, this is a bit weird. I said to Kerry, I went, Kerry, have a taste of this. And she went, yeah, it's pineapple, right? I went, no, it's peach. And she went, no, it's pineapple. I went, it's different. So I said to the woman, I went, what's going on with this ice cream? Like, why is it changing? And apparently it's just like vanilla ice cream, but there's like little flavour pods in the ice cream, like sprinkles. So as you're biting the sprinkles, it's different flavours that you're taking up with it. So
That's crazy.
I was looking, I was like, oh, I thought, how many beers have I had for this to keep changing? And amazingly, science, you know, it was like Heston Blumenthal ice cream. You know, you don't know what you're getting. Probably snail porridge afterwards or something.
This guy loves his ice cream, mate, so he's hooked already. He wants to buy it.
I honestly, I have it like 5 or 6 like pots of like Ben and Jerry's in a day. Like,
oh yeah, with the weather, like, it wouldn't surprise me.
I absolutely love ice cream. Saying that, Bo was having, I'm questionable if this is like good parenting, but he was literally having like, because obviously, you know, like ice cream, you just help themselves, don't you? He was having like 4 or 5 ice creams a day. I'm like, and literally we was having breakfast, and he was going, Daddy, ice cream. I'm like, I mean, I was having them, don't get me wrong, but like, you know, like you're 2.5, and he was like, and then throughout the day, but he's definitely his father's son in that sense. I was probably like, yeah, go on, boy, have another ice cream.
And my own goal was the same day on Saturday. So obviously, leading up to the event, I'm meeting new people, new clients, new investors, such as like celebrities, ex-footballers, and stuff like that. And I thought, well, I've got to make an impression. So the week before, I went and bought a shirt from Marks and Spencer's, nice heritage shirt. Marks and Spencer's dad is typical dad clothing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone like me, who hasn't got a body like a Greek god. If it is a Greek god, it'll be Vargas.
Speak to yourself, mate.
old gym boy over here.
Old Zeus.
Yeah.
You've got Dukey and Susie over here. Yeah, so I've gone and bought this shirt, and I thought, that's quite nice. It was like white and claret stripe, like vertical stripes. It looked quite nice. So then I've gone travelling down there, and I could hear a ruffling sort of sound. I thought, what the hell's that?
Bought a cape.
Bought a cape, yeah. And I thought, what's going on? So I've gone, obviously it was hot, so I've gone and touched the shirt, and the shirt's gone like paper. So it went really hard. So obviously where I've been sweating, and then the sweat's dried in the shirt has just gone solid. So I'm like, oh, I ain't even arrived there. So I'm there and I'm really conscious about this shirt. And I was walking around. The week here was like just ruffling paper, and I was going for like a paper bag or something. And then my mates looked at me like, you're all right. And I went, oh, it's really hot, isn't it? Yeah. I was really conscious for the rest of the day. So there's me trying to make an impression, and it just backfired with the shirt. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not the best with clothes, and I try my best, and I just thought it would backfire.
I feel like that's the most relatable thing that anyone said today.
Yeah. Decent. Okay, boys. Well, I say Premier League starts tomorrow or today if you're listening on a Friday, and one of the most hot topics throughout the summer is FPL. So let's hear your FPL teams. Obviously, let's go through your names first. Rob, do you want to go first?
I'll start, yeah, sure. So, in true FPL form...
You ain't got my shirt in hand, have you?
In true FPL form, I have tried to create up a name that is as ridiculous as possible, or some sort of pun that is relative to an Arsenal player. So this year, my team is called Raya and the Dragon, inspired by David Raya, our goalkeeper at Arsenal, but then also a Disney film that we quite enjoyed watching a couple of years back when it dropped. So that's my team name. So you will see me at the top of our league because I'm going to win it, calling it now. But my team, I've gone pretty simple. I've gone predictable, and the reason why I've gone predictable is because I think if it all goes pear-shaped, then because I've got the premiums, I can pretty much move to any other asset that I want if I want them. So with that being said, I have gone for, this will probably be my starting 11. I won't bother you too much about my subs. But I have Solanke, Haaland and Isak. Then I have Eze, Gordon, Salah, Emil Smith-Rowe, Munoz, Kwanzaa, Porro and Henderson. And with that, it pretty much gives me a starting 11 for the first 3 game weeks. There might be some changes. I might use Harwood from my subs bench occasionally. But other than that, I've pretty much got a starting 11 that will give me the transfers I need. And then if I need to make some big changes, I've got money in the bank to do so if I wanted to take out Salah or Haaland because they're premiums. And so I think that will give me a strong start to the season. I wanted to have Isak and I wanted to have Solanke next to Haaland, so I'm really happy about that. I'm pretty much 100% on my midfield and I don't think I'll be changing my defence. So I think that's what I'll be doing. And Callum, can you pronounce your team name for me?
It's Bo Sakalekta.
Sorry, I didn't get that one.
Bo Sakalekta. So, obviously,
explain the name.
So Bo is obviously my boy's name. Saka, because it's to do with Arsenal. Obviously, he's a fantastic player, and obviously star boy, yeah. And then obviously Bo Selector back in the day. So it's Bo Sakalekta.
Very nice.
So I'm expecting your team to be bang tied.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't. If I'm being honest with you, I don't normally play this. Like, this is probably the second time ever I've ever gone through and selected a team. And I think the last time I did this, I gave up after like 4 weeks doing it.
The thing is, though, once you do it, and then you do the second season, that's it. You're hooked for life. I remember recommending this to my old boss, and he was like, "Oh, I don't ever play fantasy football." He's probably listening right now, and he said, "I don't ever play fantasy football." And I'm like, "Just do it, because obviously you're going to get your mates involved, and it's a bit of banter and stuff like that." That was 6 years ago, and he's constantly on fantasy football every single time, and he's got more football knowledge about it now. And fortunately, he's an Arsenal fan, so
good guy.
Yeah, he's got good taste. Yeah.
Go on, sorry.
Yeah, so I got Raya at the back. I got Mikalenko from Everton.
What's his name? Sorry,
Mikalenko.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah. I know. You mean the Ukrainian?
That's right. Yeah.
Good player.
Yeah, Pedro from Tottenham, Hall from Newcastle, Odegaard. To be fair, I think my midfield and up front pretty good. But yeah, Odegaard, Gibbs White, Smith Rowe, Salah, and then Haaland up front, Calvin Lewin, and Watkins.
That's fair. What's your subs?
Barco, Winks, and is it Fairs?
Yes, Leicester Larry.
Yeah.
Wow, Fairs, the guy's got curly hair in Belgium.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got Matthews in goal, but I haven't changed my goalkeepers.
Set them to get in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Forget. Okay, well, that's Rob's throwing down the gauntlet, and I think Callum's got a pretty good team there as well. My team is called Hammond de Weste, as Rob's looking at me as if I've got the best Spanish accent ever. Like, that's what you should know, because now you've got a Spanish manager, and so have we. West Ham fans.
De Weste.
De Weste. You can blame them darn Valencians I used to work with.
Yeah.
So in goal, I've got Pickford. The reason I picked Pickford is because, looking at the statistics, he takes long free kicks, and they tend to go deep in the box, and someone seems to get a knock on. And there has been a few assists from him in the past few seasons. So Pickford is a shout. Not only with that, with the save percentages and potential clean sheets with drawn dice. And they've got Jake O'Brien, who's a new centre back with Tarkowski. So that could be quite interesting for Everton. I think they're going to shut up shop this year. My defenders are Trent Alexander-Arnold, Neco Williams from Nottingham Forest, and Pedro Porro. So I've got 3 at the back. I've gone midfield heavy with a full 5 of Odegaard, Palmer, Bruno Fernandes, Gibbs White, and Phil Foden. And then my front 2 is Ollie Watkins and Nicholas Füllkrug, or Fuller, as West Ham fans are going to call him now. That's what he likes to be called.
Have you got a song for him yet?
I have, yeah.
Is this one you've made up? Is this going around the West Ham lads?
This is this is just one I've made up. But So, do you want to hear it?
I think we should have a rendition, yeah, 100%.
Well,
I think you stand up and do it as well.
I'm saying that. Well, it only works if people know what the song is. So if anyone knows the Gibson Brothers Cuba, you know the song?
You'll know it when he sings it.
Yeah, of course I do, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll play along.
Cuba.
Oh, yeah,
So,
fantastic song.
It's a great song, isn't it? Yeah, toe tapper.
you set me up that one, haven't you? But this one is for Krug. He loves to play the salsa because salsa's Spanish, right? So he's playing like
Cuban,
the Julian
Cuban.
Lopetegui one.
You're not Cuban?
I speak Spanish. So hopefully he bangs in a few goals and that gets sung.
To be fair, I think West Ham.
You look like an idiot.
I think West Ham is a fantastic topic to discuss at the moment as well, at some point.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I don't want it to come across as being a West Ham heavy podcast, but we're so in the news at the minute, can't not talk about it. So my subs are Fabianski. The reason I picked Fabianski is because he's a set and forget, but I'd like to change between Pickford and Areola throughout the season. So if I pick Areola for a particular reason and he doesn't make it, then I've got Fabianski as my backup automated substitute, so I haven't really got to worry about that. I've got Manning at Southampton, who's been ever-present left-back for Southampton last season, influential, lots of assists, a couple of goals. Leif Davis at Ipswich, who's their young prospect left-back, again, assist-heavy, takes corners, takes free kicks. And João Pedro, who is a penalty king merchant. So I watched him at Watford a couple of years ago, and I thought, this guy is never going to make it. This guy is overpriced. He's not suited to English football whatsoever. He scored an assist on that day against Bristol City and then bagged the move to Brighton for 30 million quid. So how wrong was I? But he seems to have got a lot of goals for Brighton and key penalty taker.
He's still only young as well, isn't he? He's only like 25, is that right?
I think he might be younger than that.
Yeah.
He might be younger than that.
I've got a question. How long has it taken you to map that out, Adam?
To map it? Not long.
No?
When you've been playing this game for over 15 years, you know exactly what to look out for.
Yeah. I spoke to you a couple of days ago, didn't I? I had a team, my original team, I did quite quickly, and it had neither Haaland or Salah. But then, like I said, I like the flexibility of being able to go to literally anyone in any position because I'd had them both.
Yeah.
So I could go to any midfielder or any striker because of the money I would have had left over, and they're the most expensive players in their position. But originally, I didn't have. I had such a padded midfield and strike up front because I didn't have them, and some talent in defence, but they're just point machines. I couldn't bring myself to do it this time.
Yeah. I think with my thought process is that I've gone very midfield heavy because they get defensive bonuses, they get goal scoring bonus. If they score a goal, it's more than what a striker would get. A lot of midfielders tend to be set piece players anyway, or they get assists by being deeper in the pitch to put a through ball into a striker. So I thought going midfield heavy was very key on this, and having influential players like Palmer and Foden who were banging in goals left, right and centre and nominated for PFA of the year last year. And you got Odegaard and Bruno Fernandes who are club captains and are going to be ever present throughout the season. And then the other one was Gibbs White, who I believe is now captain of Nottingham Forest. So, that is, so I'm quite happy with my midfield on that. I mean, my defence might change a little bit, but it's a bit strange that I've gone for more Nottingham Forest players than anyone else in the squad.
Well, I'm the same, to be fair. I haven't got any Arsenal players in my team, which is unheard of for me. But when you are just looking, because of the flexibility I've given myself and the potential for an early wild card, maybe game week 4 or 5, maybe, Arsenal's first 5 fixtures are tricky ones.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Tottenham and Man City around that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at the potential then to have maybe an early wildcard when those fixtures lighten up, so you can bring in some of the players who haven't got like as tricky an opening, like your Arsenals, like your Man Cities. Whereas teams like Liverpool are starting really strong. They've got some good fixtures. I don't think Liverpool have a difficult game really, other than Man United early on until mid-October, late October maybe, and that's Arsenal, I think.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my thinking.
Okay. Any other points you want to note out on FPL?
Well, I'm going to be learning as I go along, to be honest with you. I'm going to lie to you.
Yeah, but that's a real experience. That's like a real thing. That's relatable because, like Adam was saying, we've done it for years. I've played it every year for the last 10, 12. So it'll be quite good to see how you fare in like a bit of a maiden season.
Yeah, I think. Well, to be fair, I've learned a lot just having a chat. Previous to this, obviously, the podcast, just talking about, planning ahead, looking at fixtures. Ultimately, it's not just picking names; it's about, the teams they've got coming up and the challenges they've got coming up, and not just trying to pick name players. Actually, trying to plan more ahead. Which like I say, I only did mine literally 45 minutes before we started chatting. So,
and will that be the same team that you'll have by Man United Fulham tomorrow night or tonight?
To be fair, I will probably stand out because I've done that. That's I've picked this team from what I think, but I think I might be lacking in points by the end of the weekend.
Listen, I'm predicting that's going to be the same team in game week 38.
I forgot my login already, so...
Have you picked your kit?
Can you pick a kit?
Yeah.
I haven't done mine yet.
I didn't know you could pick a kit.
Oh, yeah, I'll pick your kit.
Red and white,
That's the most important thing.
I didn't know.
Arsenal's home kit.
I had to get my wife to pick the name, let know the kit.
Okay, so we'll wrap up the fantasy football talk on that point. But on the basis of that, you can join our dedicated fantasy football league using the code PXWTLY. And we look forward to playing against you. And don't forget to tweet us and tell us how much better you're doing than Callum.
Well, hold on. Can I also say, who do you think is going to be top out of you two then?
Me.
Before we finish it, you're going strong, right?
Yeah, I think I'm going to win.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I beat Adam last year.
I've heard about 150 times how he got into the top 100,000.
Mate, it was a season of my life. It was a season of my life.
Highlight.
Mate, honestly, so last year I finished in the top 100,000. I know on its own that's not massively impressive, right? But...
Out of 11 million it is.
Well, yeah, that is. But I would have finished higher, except I did my wild card and then forgot to press wild card. The biggest rookie mistake I've ever made. And I think because when I'm tinkering, I just be like, I'll put you in, I'll take you out and see how I feel. And so I think I made nearly 72 points worth of deductions and then forgot to press my wild card. And I went from the top of the league to the bottom of the league. And then I spent literally the rest of the season trying to chase the top 100k.
Was that in one week? So you messed up.
I messed up in 1 week. Went minus because once you've made your first transfer, you can make further transfers every week, but it'll cost you a -4. So I took a -72 when I could have just played my wild card and got all of them for free. That's something else I need to talk to you about.
Oh, sorry, chaps. Breaking news.
Ooh.
Calvin Phillips is having a medical at Ipswich, as is Sammy Smodics.
Is that the Blackburn guy?
That's it.
Yeah.
The championship top goal scorer from a midfield position. Calvin Phillips and Sammy Smodics in the middle for Ipswich.
Yeah, see if he's
with Amari Hutchinson.
Yeah, that's right. So the thing is, if he's going to be 4 mil or 4.5, maybe 5, he's worth a potential first place on your bench, isn't he? Maybe
goes for full. Let's see what happens when he gets registered in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on to our next segment, which is a quiz. So the quiz is between. If those who used to watch Soccer AM would always remember the Terry v Terry competition, where it was the brothers John Terry and Paul Terry, seeing how many goals they could score between them, and I think John Terry tended to finish tops on that. And then when Terry and Terry finished, it was Ferdinand v Ferdinand. So you had Anton Ferdinand and Rio Ferdinand scoring goals left, right, and centre throughout the Premier League from a centre back position. And I believe Anton Ferdinand might have beat him one year.
They had bets, didn't they? They split a few K on it, yeah.
So this one's called HORTON v HORTON.
That's right.
So with our good friends at the Football Game Co, they have given us some questions, but we'll do one question a week, and definitely recommend this game. If you go on their Instagram account, you'll see how it's played, and it's definitely for the football fan. This is not an advertisement. I'm just trying to get them to do well, because it started off as a Kickstarter, and they're starting to get a bit more attention, which is really good for the guys. Okay, so the question, and the way we're going to play this is that I'm going to say this question, and you're going to bat off against one another. So Callum, you'll say one, Rob, you'll say one, and then whoever forgets, and then whoever gets the next name wins. Okay?
This could be really quick, couldn't it?
This could be quick.
Story of your life.
This could be pretty quick, but I think you might be okay for at least a few trade-offs.
Okay. All right.
So the question is, name the managers who have won the Premier League. So we'll start this with, how are we going to do this? Right.
I'll go first.
No, we'll do this fair. So for the purpose of the listeners, I've got a pen lid in my hand, and I'm going to say, Callum, because this is your studio that we're recording in, you get the pick. So what hand is my pen lid in?
It's in your right.
It's in my right. So Callum goes first.
Damn it. I've already won.
There's not been that many either, because it's only been like 23.
No, it's 11 Premier League winners.
That's what I mean, 23 years.
Yeah, so 23 years. So
we've got to get to... Right, okay.
It's an 11.
Right, so Callum, you go first.
So Alex Ferguson.
We won half of them. Monsieur Wenger.
Sorry, who's that?
Arsene Wenger.
Arsene Wenger, okay.
Pep.
Jose.
What's the Leicester manager? Ranieri.
Correct.
Yes.
Jurgen Klopp.
Correct.
Oh, I didn't think of him.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh no. And you said there's 11 of them, 11 different managers.
Yep.
Wow. What was the one who used to play for Chelsea?
Chelsea have had a few managers on it.
Yeah. Oh.
There must be a timing on this.
I'm gonna have to push you.
Oh, hold tight. Go behave yourselves.
Come on, this is a short podcast.
Oh, I can't think of anyone else.
Think of the clubs. Think of the clubs that won the Premier League.
No, don't help him.
I'm not helping him.
Hold on.
It's obvious, isn't it?
Come on, mate. This has got to be tough.
Go on, I'll give him. What is it?
No, I've got one.
Go on.
I want to win.
Yeah, so Rob's got to get it to win.
Antonio Conte.
Right.
Yes! What was the other lot?
Right, okay. So the 11 Premier League winning managers were Sir Alex Ferguson with 13.
Yeah, I got him.
Pep Guardiola, Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho, Kenny Dalglish, Blackburn.
No way.
Do you know that was the one I was going to be my that was going to be my pièce de la résistance. That one.
Yeah. Carlo Ancelotti, Roberto Mancini.
Yeah.
Manuel Pellegrini.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Ranieri, Antonio Conte, and Jurgen Klopp.
Should be ashamed of yourself, mate.
Why? The only one I need to worry about is Arsene Wenger, mate. That's the only one. And the next Arsenal manager. That's all I care about.
I'm looking at this list. I'm thinking there's one more, and I might be wrong. I'm gonna have to Google this in real time. Sorry, listeners, but I'm pretty sure Gus Hiddink won it.
Gus Hiddink
for Chelsea.
No, didn't he win? I don't think he did he? I think he won a trophy, but I don't think he
took over Chelsea at one point.
Yeah, no, but he did. But I think he won a European Cup.
He was interim manager in 2009. Did he win it?
Didn't he win a European trophy?
Oh, he won loads, didn't he? Won loads. Go down to his honours.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If Arsenal don't win it, I'll switch off. So after Arsene Wenger, I was.
He won an FA Cup with Chelsea.
Oh, okay. I thought he won the trophy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I see pictures with him with a trophy. So, yeah, FA Cup 2008-2009 as interim manager.
So Rob's 1-0 up.
So in Horton v Horton.
In Horton v Horton, Rob is 1-0 up.
You've made it in life, Rob. There you go.
I'd like to thank everyone that came to see me receive this reward. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
There's always a modest winner and a modest loser in this podcast.
I'm not here to make friends.
Okay, so the next topic of discussion, obviously with the eve of the Premier League starting, we'd like to get our predictions in.
Yes.
So there's a list of predictions that Callum has put down. So let's start. In what order would you like to do your prediction in terms of league winners or domestic?
Yeah, let's do winners. Yeah, let's go around. We talk about who we think's going to win it. Yeah, and then we have a little discussion around that, and then obviously we'll move on.
Or do you want to do who is your top 6 and then decide who your winner is? Do you want to do it that way?
You're the gaffer, mate. What do you want to do?
I'm not the gaffer.
Oh, I made the decision because I lost the last game. Let's do. I'm going to win it something. Let's do what Adam just said and do top 6, and then we do who's going to win it.
All right, okay, that's fine.
Just don't shout at me like Vincent Company.
No,
just don't do that.
Mate, I saw that video. That was crazy.
That is ridiculous. Imagine him doing that at Bayern Munich. Harry Kane would say, "I've had you in my pocket for the past 10 seasons."
Yeah.
Is this? Are you talking about the documentary?
It's like he was at Birmingham and he got filmed, and it was on.
Yeah, I think this is in the documentary.
Recently, wasn't it?
I want to watch this. Basically, there was someone on, I think it was on TalkSport this morning or yesterday, and they're talking about this documentary, and apparently he does not stop swearing, and I think there is a rant that they talk about. I think I need to watch this, but was it horrendous then?
It was on the training field, wasn't it?
Yeah, if it was me, I would have walked away. But to be fair to the player, he's got to listen to what his manager tells him, right? But I think there's a way of, it's an old school man management, isn't it? That's not really respected in that modern day football. So probably he's looking at it that way. I can't ever imagine Pep Guardiola talking to him like that on the training field when he's managing him. Do you know? So.
I mean, it's still early days for him, isn't it? And it might also, I mean, he managed them for the season before that and got them promoted. So something was working at some point.
The same thing happened at Anderlecht, I believe, when there was cameras in the dressing room and they drew 0-0. And because I know this because Josh Cullen, who used to play for West Ham, he went to Anderlecht. Vincent Company bought him, and then obviously kept in touch with that. But he was absolutely giving it to the team, like saying 0-0's never good enough. Like, I get the mentality, the winning mentality, but yeah, I just thought it was very strong. Very, very strong.
I mean, he might be managing the way he captained because he was quite an assertive captain as well. I mean, but you know, he did get promoted with a certain coaching style, so
yeah,
it'd be interesting.
Well, it's going to be one to watch, isn't it? To see how they get on in the Championship, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we're plugging this very, very well.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how he does at Bayern Munich as well. To be fair,
yeah, well, he can speak German because he plays for Hamburg, doesn't he? So, not saying that.
No, but communicate. I mean, I'm quite interested in Company actually, so it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
What else he gets up to. But yeah, Cal, do you want to start with your top 6?
So, I like to go on emotions, and I pick myself on emotions. And to be fair, some of mine are quite predictable, but I've thrown a few wild cards in. I think Adam, you might be a little bit happy, but so within my top 6, I'm not going to say what order I've got them in as of yet, yeah, but I've got West Ham in there. But I've got a little bit of love for West Ham, being obviously from Newham. So I've got West Ham in there. I've got Aston Villa. I've got Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, and for Chelsea.
United out.
Yeah, I don't think Chelsea. I don't think. I'll talk about it later, but let's throw the names out there and then we'll discuss it if you don't mind.
All right, I have gone predictable because I think over 38 games, predictability is normally normality.
Yeah.
So I've gone for, in no particular order, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, United, Spurs, and Newcastle.
Ooh.
That's mine. I can explain my reasoning, but
Let Adam say first, and then
No,
discuss.
I've got to say reason. I'm still trying to figure mine out, to be honest.
Okay, right. Well, all right. I'll start, and then you can pull me out on yours because we've got some different ones.
Cool.
So, I think Arsenal, City are givens. I say that
think they deserve
confidently.
it well.
City are probably favourites anyway. But Arsenal, City are givens. I think Liverpool will do better under Slot than people think. I do think that they just going by X anyway. There's a lot of people upset that they haven't been able to get Zubimendi in, and they haven't really had a six for 2 or 3 seasons now. So I know that they're upset about that, but I just think there's enough quality in that team to finish in the top 6, in the top 3. United, I think, have had a pretty decent window actually, and I think that they will be better this year. I think they have to be. I think Spurs. I think signing Solanke was really important. I don't think Spurs have been ambitious enough, but I do think signing Solanke is a good start because he's an improvement on Richarlison.
Would you take him at Arsenal?
Solanke?
Yeah.
No, I think there's British or English strikers that would be better than him. But he wouldn't have been I don't think he was in my top 3.
Would you have taken Solanke if he was £65 million?
I think that's quite expensive.
Okay. Would you have taken Solanke if he was £40 million?
Yes, but then I also think there's different expectations of what you're getting. So, like, for the most part, if you're buying a 40 million striker, I think there's less gamble on it.
Mm-hmm.
But then it also kind of sends a signal as to how important his role might be when we're talking about strikers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that Arsenal need to spend 100 million on someone, but I think if we could have got Solanke for 40, or let's just say for argument's sake by comparison, Watkins for 65, if someone was holding both hands out to me and saying which one you want, I'm still taking Watkins for 65 over Solanke for 40. I just think that Watkins is better and he suits Arsenal's style of play better. But that's just me. But I do think they will finish in the top 6, and I think my other one, I think I said 5, my last one is Newcastle.
Okay. Interesting.
So do you want to hear mine? And I think a lot of people won't like this, but obviously everyone thinks Man City's probably going to win the league. However, I've not gone for them. And I haven't gone for Arsenal either. It breaks my heart, but I have not gone for Arsenal.
Please tell me you've gone West Ham.
No, I haven't. No. I've actually gone Liverpool. And I'll tell you why. But let's be honest, Man City are expected to win, yeah? So I've gone for Liverpool because even though I think Man City's going to win it, I think Arsenal have been very close to the last 2 years. And I don't know if you can have a third year pushing someone that far. So I think we will have a drop off. I think we'll finish top 4. So I've got obviously Man City first, but I think so to throw one in the air, I've gone Liverpool, Man City, then Arsenal, and then Chelsea. I think Man United got big problems. I think Man United are where we were, where Arsenal was, before Arteta. I think they've got big problems. I think they're still going through it, and they're still trying to work themselves out with big time Charlies in the changing room.
What, Man United?
Yeah, I think they've still got a few to get rid of, and I think they're still a couple years off competing. And I also don't know if they've got the right manager either.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I haven't gone for Man United in my top 6. but I've gone for Liverpool because from what I've heard, and I don't know much about the bloke, the idea is that he will carry on from Klopp. They weren't too far off it last year anyway. Let's be honest, they did push it to last month probably of the season. Let's be honest, Man City were going to win it. Yeah, I think Arsenal missed out the year before of really winning the league. Let's be honest. But I think Arsenal will drop off this year. But then I think with some of my other predictions going on, that will make more sense why I've dropped Arsenal into third. Then I've gone from Chelsea, being in fourth. I just think they've had a pre-season. I know they've had a hell of a lot of players come in, and unfortunately for them, I think they've got a hell of a lot of players going out as well this transfer window. But I just think they will settle. They have got quality there, let's be honest, and I think they will settle this season. And then I'll go for West Ham over Aston Villa. Actually, I just think there's a buzz around West Ham and their fans at the moment, and I think if they can use that momentum going into the season, I think it depends on the first month of the new season. But I do think West Ham will be there or thereabouts, and Aston Villa I think will carry on. I think the manager will make sure they will carry on, and that's why I've got them in to be fair, fifth or sixth between West Ham.
Okay.
And themselves.
So I know that you look pretty excited about yours, so let me just do my predictions real quick, and then
go on.
So my predictions are I think Arsenal are going to win the league next year. So Arsenal are first, City are second, Liverpool are third. I think Newcastle will come fourth, and the reason why I think, especially if they get Gahey,
that would be fantastic.
Yeah. So the reason why I've got them, and I needed to double check if I didn't have time, but they don't have European football next year either, do they?
No.
Right. So I just think that just puts them in a really good place to focus on domestic competition, which is why I didn't go with Villa, because I think Villa will be trying to enjoy the Champions League. And I know they're still competitive. I think they are great. But I think they might suffer a drop-off because of that. But I have also put that they could be interchangeable with Spurs. Then I've gone United fifth because I think they have to be better. 2 trophies in 2 years is nothing to be shirking. They still have won 2 trophies in 2 years. And I think we put a little bit more respect on Ten Hag's name. And I do think he's tried to sort out some of the mess that's in there. And I think he's getting closer. Like, I wouldn't be surprised I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Rashford or Sancho left Man United this summer. And then I've gone Spurs because I think Spurs are getting there. The reason why I haven't gone with West Ham, and I was thinking about West Ham, but the reason...
I'm not offended.
No. But I thought because you're a West Ham fan, it makes sense to talk about it, because then you can either say, well, no, or not. But I think West Ham needed this summer because I think they stood still last summer. And that's my honest opinion. I think there was too much... I'm in and ahhing about what was going to be the deal with Moyes. Are we going to give him a new contract or not? Can we back him or not because of this? I think they stood still last summer. They needed to improve this summer so they could match what was around them. And I don't think that's going to be enough to make top 6. That's me.
Okay. I mean, in response to West Ham standing still, I mean, you think we've had to rebuild because of the departure of probably one of our most important ever players in the club.
Who was that?
I can't remember his name.
Although they did ignore him in that recent press video with their captains. Did you see that? About Bowen, when Bowen was announced as captain.
Yeah. I did notice that.
I thought that was a bit harsh because I just think it's a bit harsh.
He's one of 3 captains that have lifted silverware at the club.
I thought it was petty.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not a social media man. Anything that's going on at West Ham behind the scenes in the boardroom is debatable anyway. So I think we'll leave that another conversation. But I think in terms of standing still, I mean, we recouped a record-breaking academy fee, £105 million, which you still say that you owe us more money for.
You owe your money.
And I think with the people that we bought Kudus, we bought Alvarez, we bought Mavropanos. I'm sure there's a few others in there that I've missed. We bought Flynn Downs, who's now left to go. No, he was the season before. Sorry. Yeah, there's a number of players there that we bought, and they've been really good acquisitions for. When you think of where we was last season, we were still in and around the top 6 up until the last couple of months, and we completely flatlined. And that was just down to the club just wanting to change, more the fan base, if anything, because the style of football was just not tolerable anymore. So yeah, in terms of standing still, I think, I think if we never won the European Cup, I think he would have gone. I think he would have sacked, but because he won it, how can you sack someone that's just gave you a trophy the first time in my lifetime? It's the third tier trophy, but still a significant trophy in my lifetime. So how could you get rid of him? And I think he deserved that season. So it was always hard to build a squad from someone that's going to be departing anyway. But yeah, so we'll touch on transfers after I say my predictions. But my top six, in no particular order at the minute, is I'll do it in order. I'll do it from sixth upwards. Chelsea sixth, Liverpool fifth, West Ham fourth, Man City third, Arsenal second, and my hot take for Premier League winners, Man United.
Oh.
I've gone Man United because he's building something there. He's filtered out a lot of the rubbish, a lot of the players that are very. He's a lot of shaking heads here in a minute, but I think you think the players he's just bought this summer.
The Ajax thing.
Well, a successful Ajax team.
No, I'm not mugging it off. I'm not mugging it off.
Narrowly. Well, I think they lost to Spurs, didn't they? In Champions League with that team.
Yeah.
You think they got Højlund up front, who I think is a fantastic striker, and he's just going to grow and grow. They've got Garnacho, Kobe Mainoo. Fantastic! What a talent he was. Especially
he's fantastic. He is fantastic.
They've got a captain now that's just signed a new deal in Fernandes. Terrell Malacia was a bit hit and miss, but now they've got Mazraoui in as their right back, who was at Ajax at the time, but he was from Bayern Munich. They've just signed De Ligt. And I look at that team, I'm like, it's a strong squad. And they're going to be playing for a manager that they're well recognised with. Joshua Zirkzee they've just bought.
Frankie de Jong incoming.
Frankie de Jong when he gets fit. So, I'm like, I can't ignore Man United. They're such a big club, and now they're under new ownership or part ownership with Jim Ratcliffe, who's spending the money as well. I think there's a lot to think about. I think they can't go. I can't ignore them as I've seen lots of predictions, and I thought I've got to be something different, and I'm going to say Man United are going to win the league.
It's a hot take.
That's got more negative response than West Ham getting Champions League spot.
I know. I think it's a hot take. I'm not bitter because of the Arsenal thing, but I think it's a hot take because I just don't think that.
I mean, my prediction might change
at Christmas.
At the end of the transfer window, because unless Arsenal sign that striker that you've been craving for, then I would put you as champions. But I just can't. I can't.
We've been craving for that striker since Van Persie left.
Yeah.
Put some respect on Havertz's name.
I mean, if you went out and bought some like Vlahovic from Juventus, like you put in a solid bid for him, I thought, you know what, they mean business now. But I can't see where your striker. We were talking about it the other day, weren't we? And I can't see where your striker solution is going to be.
So are we? So I know we talked about top six, but are we going to talk about the domestic cups and European cups as well?
We'll touch on relegation, and then we'll touch on the cups and stuff.
Okay. Because I mean, I think mine will make more sense once we talk about the cup situations.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want me to start with relegation?
I just want to add a special mention to my predictions. And again, this is another hot take, and a club that's again what they've done last season under the manager that they had. No, I'm not going to say Paris. Because I think they've lost their Elise, who was the major part of their sort of development. I'm going to go Bournemouth 7th.
They were great, weren't they?
They were great, and they spent the dough last year. They got backing from Hollywood now with Michael B. Jordan, and American ownership as well. And they've just signed Arujo from Barcelona, and they've just had a bid accepted of £41 million for Porto striker Ethan Nilsson as a replacement to Solanke. Now, those sort of signings have gone well off the radar, and they've got a young, fantastic squad like Max Aarons, Kirkes. They've got who's the American kid that used to play for Leeds. They've got him in the middle of the park now. Lewis Cook is still there. Yeah, and they've got. I'm trying to think who their goalkeeper is now. They've got a really good. I was just thinking, I'm not defending myself here, but I'm not forgetting the players, the names of the players. But I think they could be a team that would be everyone's sort of sweetheart. You know, like when Brighton was when they were playing fantastic football. I think they could be that team that could break into the top 7.
To be fair, I agree with you. I like watching Bournemouth.
Yeah, and Ariola as manager, who was fantastic in La Liga for Vallecano.
I think you're right.
And last season, I thought they played some really good football. Really good football.
Has anyone got them as relegation people?
I have not got Bournemouth for relegation.
Yeah.
If Bournemouth finished 7th, like you say, then according to my prediction, Chelsea are finishing 8th next year.
Yeah.
Where have you got Aston Villa? Did you have Aston Villa?
Aston Villa were just behind them in 8th because I think they'll do really well in Champions League.
Yeah,
and I think they'll get to the latter part of the competition, which will fall in the new year. But then I think it'll be too much, and then they'll be chasing ground. They'll kind of be pretty average in the Premier League up until the point they get knocked out of Champions League, and that's when they'll kick on again and start picking up the points towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I've got them down because of the gaffer and his history with European football. Obviously, I know not so much in Champions League football. But in the Europa League, I think they will get to the quarterfinal, Aston Villa.
Yeah.
But I still think they will get top 6.
Yeah.
In regards to
that's a massive achievement.
Oh mate, yeah, and I think they deserve it. Do you know what? Yeah, I know it didn't work out for him at Arsenal, and arguably probably wasn't given the time. He did get us to the final of Europa League. But fans didn't fancy him, and I think
AFTV.
Yeah, and I think he got the push because of that. But I do think he has got something, and he's got that crowd going, and he's got that whole football ground in a completely different mindset. So I do think they will get quarterfinals next year.
They're a massive club.
Yeah, they are.
And that's hard for me to say as a West Ham fan, but like Aston Villa have been on that biggest stage and won it.
Yeah.
And I think I know it's quite obvious that they have won it, but like, I think a lot of people kind of forget that. I know they've been in the Championship for a couple of seasons, and they had developed players like Grealish, but they're a massive club. They're huge.
Yeah.
Huge. I went there for a semi-final in the FA Cup when West Ham beat Middlesbrough 1-0, and that stadium is it's just architecturally just beautiful. The way that it's actually been produced and built, and the detail of it, it's a proper football stadium. It's a proper football club. It's just a shame they're playing claret blue.
Relegation.
Yeah.
So I've gone for Southampton.
Yeah.
I've gone for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
And I think people might be surprised by this, but I've gone for Fulham.
No, I don't think Fulham will go down.
With Emerson thrown?
No, I think
Fulham will go down. And do you know why? And do you know what else? I also think, if we're talking about first sacking as well, I think Marcus Silva will get the first. I think if he's the first gaffer
It's
sacked.
a good shout.
I don't
It's a
think
great
so.
shout, though.
So
I can't knock it.
I think Fulham will be okay. And just going by FPL scores, with Melo between the sticks, I think they will be okay. I honestly don't see them going down. I've gone for the 3 that are coming up are going down: Ipswich, Leicester and Southampton. But I've also put an asterisk on that because I think 4 teams are going down this year, because I think Man City will be being relegated as well. Those 115 charges are coming in. Allegedly, obviously. And I think they will be the team that will be relegated.
Oh, interesting. My 3, Southampton and Forest, as you said. But I've gone for another West London club, and that's Brentford. I don't think they performed particularly well last season. I think, again, like, finished 16th, 17th, I think, narrowly missing it. Ivan Toney, despite him coming back, I didn't think he performed that well for someone of his stature. I know it was a lot to take in or whatever, but
he had 9 months off.
He had 9 months off, and they bought his replacement in January last year from Club Bruges called Thiago for 30 million quid. Broke his leg in pre-season. Yeah. So, and they just bought Fabio Carvalho from Liverpool as well, who's, I think, is a great talent, but he's championship level, sadly. And I think the money ball sort of phase in football, I think it's going to die out, and I think they will be the first team to suffer it. I know they're a good club, very, 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 very nice club, very nice fans.
Well run.
But I just think it's just going to be one season too much for them.
And Tony's on in the last year of his contract, so they kind of have to accept something that's reasonably around.
When you're relying on loaning Neil Maupay from Everton to get your goals, I think that's from last season. I think that's a concern, personally.
I know he's a great shit house, isn't he?
And they're looking to sell Wissa as well to Wolves, apparently. So again, that's another outlet. I think that their star player who might be able to keep them in the fight would be Brian Mbeumo. I think he's a fantastic player. One of the DNW trio of Watkins, Benrahma, and Mbeumo. And I'm surprised that they kept him for this long. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes towards the end of the week.
Also, the youngest of the 3, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's still only 23.
I think he's the youngest of the 3 of them as well.
International. Yeah. I think he's a great player.
Do you think Wolves could go down?
I don't think Wolves will go down, no. I think they've got too many stars there. They've got the Mateus Cunha. They've got Mateus Cunha. They've got a few other players there.
I think this will be okay.
From Max Kilman, so they're reinvesting. Their defence is pretty good. They've got a player there called Totti, who plays in centre half. And, what a player! What a player he is. First sacking for me. I'm going to go out there because if my predictions are wrong, I'm going to say Lopetegui because you can't spend 144 million euros at the moment.
You've actually gone for your own manager?
I've gone for my manager, yeah. I'll back him.
That's sacrilege.
I'm covering the costs here.
Mate, listen, you're blowing bubbles, mate.
How much money you put on that?
No, but I'm just looking at it. I'm hoping he doesn't get sacked. I'm hoping we do get fourth. But part of me thinks it's West Ham. It's going to go belly up still. I'll be as optimistic as possible. But I've got to put it down because if no one else says it, he gets forgotten about. But if he doesn't perform in the first 11 to 12 games...
Is that all you're giving him?
I think, you've got to give him 3 months. He's only on 2.5-year deal anyway, with an optional third if he gets Europe. So the pressure's on him. So I'm putting the pressure on him. You don't perform, he's sacked, J-Lo. Sorry. And I'll change my name to West Ham in English.
You're going to have to, by the sounds of it.
I think that should be the name of your team next year, just West Ham in English.
West Ham in English.
I have not gone for West Ham's manager. I think you are being far too pessimistic. I don't see him.
It's just an insurance prediction. That's all. That's all it is. I don't know who's going to stay.
I don't really like these things. To be honest, I'm not a fan of predicting sackings, but I am going to say one, and I'm going to go for Nuno. Nottingham Forest.
Oh, right, yeah. I can see that. They've got a trigger-happy owner, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got a trigger-happy owner. I don't think Nuno's football is particularly exciting. That's not as much of a slide as it sounds. But I think he's a pragmatic manager, and I think he stabilised the club. But I also think that he's got very creative players that I could see him losing the locker room.
Okay.
And he's got people like Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's got Elanga, he's got Gibbs White. They're quite exciting players. I wouldn't be too sad to see Gibbs White at Arsenal, if I'm being completely honest. Mm-hmm. I like him.
Not striker, is he?
No, he's not a striker, but he could play left centre midfield maybe. If that seems to be the position we're constantly talking about. But I think Nuno could potentially be the first. However, I have also said if they don't start well, Howe. If Newcastle do not start well, I think Howe will be the one. And then I think he'll end up as England manager. I'm winding you up. We don't talk about that. But I do think if Newcastle don't start well, then Howe will be the one that goes. Because I think the Amanda
they've left, and they've had the share.
That group has gone now, and they were the people that were kind of like backing and protecting, maybe, especially when they were bad at times last season. So I think I do think Newcastle will finish in the top 4, but if they don't start well, I think he'll be the one that makes way.
Good shout. Good shout. All valid point opinions, guys, apart from mine. But yeah, I mean, going on to that, I mean, like, there's been a lot of transfer activity this summer, isn't it? And we've still got 2 weeks left of the window as of the date of this podcast. So, that.
The thing is, all them positions could change from transfers.
Yeah, they could.
You know what I mean? That's
Chelsea just bought Pedro Neto out of the blue, 65 million quid. Like, as if they haven't got enough players already.
But this is it, they've got to offload. But then I can't remember who it was, someone again on TalkSport talking about, are they just going to try and buy as many players as they can, offload what they can, because they know they're going to get a transfer ban. So what they do is they just get as many players as they can. And if they get banned for 3 transfer windows or 2 transfer windows, they've got the players they want anyway. So, and then they can build their team. So they might as well, they know they're going to breach it. They might as well breach it and then and not buy anyone anyway, because they've got they've got the players in they want to produce and develop going forward anyway. But it is all on the toss of a coin, isn't it? Man City are apparently looking at still buying players. Arsenal, Edu's come out and said Arsenal fans will not be unhappy. We're all hanging on them words, thinking, who the hell are you getting in then? So lots of things could still change within the next 2 weeks. Are we? Sorry, I know I mentioned that. Are we talking about cups as well, or?
Oh, we'll do cups. We'll do cups next week.
Yeah.
I think because transfers are quite. It's been such a topic of conversation over the past summer since it's been open. But obviously, you've seen a lot of deals between Aston Villa and Chelsea happen, Everton, and to comply with the PSR rules. And then, all out of the blue, once that PSR deadline goes out the window, they sign all these players for big money, which is, like I say, it's very eye-opening. But yeah, there's been a lot of activity this summer, which has been quite refreshing. I think even like touching on West Ham, we've acted really quickly. We wait to the end of the window to get a good bargain, like usually from foreign leagues where they've registered their players that they don't want. I'll say I'm counteracting my prediction of J-Lo getting the sack. I do feel positive, especially with the players that we've brought in. I mean, Max Kilman, homegrown, a player that has been touted to West Ham for many a season. And I believe Martin Allen, who is on the West Ham Way podcast, he used to manage Max Kilman, and is just in awe of his ability to just be such a good, naturally good ball player, especially with his background of being a futsal international for England. So having a centre back that is a ball player has gave me a lot of comfort, especially with mistakes happening last year, which cost us games, and being knocked out of the cups of Bristol City. And then to think, maybe we'd never play Paquetá because of his injunction over him, I guess, or allegations of spot fixing. And now he's been told he can play. So he can play for at least a season. So we have to, to have that team's built with him and Kudus. I think West Ham had such a great window, and I'm more excited about Nicholas Fulker coming, because I think we've lacked a striker of his ability, intensity, and just being known for being a number 9, staying in the box, not drifting out wide like what a lot of our strikers have done in the past or been told to do. I think he's that stubborn number 9 is what we've lacked, and I'm hoping that he does hit that ground running and perform well for us. But has Arsenal's transfer activity been?
Oh, quiet, I think is the quick answer. We signed Raya.
Is it being quiet or is it being patient?
Well, I was going to get to that. We signed Raya. We signed a guy for 1 million. I can't think of his name right now. Youth prospect. And we signed
Calafiori.
And I'm quite happy with those transfers. I think, especially if you look at social media, there's a lot of I've blocked so many accounts this week because I'm just not interested in this negativity of we're not being ambitious enough, we're not moving. We were so good last season. We've made Raya permanent, as we should have done.
You were good the season before.
Exactly.
And then you improved on that following transfer window, and you got even better. And then there's still that area of improvement, isn't it? There isn't. Start spending all that money. You've got Havertz and Rice. You still need something else, don't you?
You're right. I mean, like I said, so we've signed a defender who will probably, and he's a giant, and eventually he will phase out Zinchenko. I wouldn't be surprised if Zinchenko started the season. He's looked very good in pre-season, but I do think he will eventually be phased out. Havertz, I'm Team Havertz, and I think Havertz was fantastic last season. And again, with Rice, I think he stepped the team up.
Yeah.
But in terms of people are saying, we should go out and we should buy Gyökeres or we should buy Tony or Osherman or whatever. They're all great names. But it's about the character you're buying as well, and are they right? And I think that there's this element of we just need to buy someone. Well, that's just nonsense. Just buy Tony then.
Yeah.
It has to be the right person. Man City are great because they have a great team, but they also have the best striker. Bayern Munich have the best striker. What's the point in not buying someone unless they are going to be the absolute best for your team?
Yeah.
I just don't see the rush. I know that people say, it's 2 days to start the season. Why are they sitting on their hands? No, they're waiting for the right opportunity. And Arsenal also are trying to be smart in terms of their, not that they're very, I think they're well in their financial fair play, but they're also trying to do a one in, one out thing so they can exactly manage their finances exactly.
Yeah.
So they want to buy Marino, but they're hoping to get Nketiah out first. Apparently now it's
Bournemouth.
No, not Bournemouth. It's Palace and Forest. Could be looking at Eddie now. Whether or not that's true or not, I just got a text message from my dad.
ITK Horton.
But that's it. He is in the know Horton. He saved on my name as Fabrizio Romano.
Ex-Arsenal employee.
His name is Fabrizio. He's saved on my phone as Father Romano, actually, after Fabrizio. I think Marino will sign. I think he'll be a left centre midfield option. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't expected to play every game. I would be surprised. I still think Arteta will go with Partey, Rice and Odegaard. I think he's looking for a backup winger and potentially, if it's the right time, a 9. And if the right 9 isn't there, I just don't think he'll waste the money.
Yeah. So I think one of the most important things to highlight is the new financial fair play rules, or the PSR rules, is that the rules come into effect this season, and you can spend on players' wages and transfer fees up to 85% of your revenue. 85%. So your revenue last year, according to Deloitte, is something like 350 million quid, or even more than that. And you can spend over 250 million pounds. What's stopping Arsenal doing that?
But I think it comes down to character and who's right. And I think Arteta is very big on the person as well as the player, which is why apparently we sounded out Osherman, and apparently Arteta was like, don't fancy his character. In the same way, apparently we've spoken to Tony, and Arteta wasn't keen on his character. It's all hearsay, obviously, but that's just what I've seen. And if that's where he is, can't really fault many of his transfers. Not for me anyway.
Yeah.
I raised my eyebrows when we bought in Rail. Well, that shut me up.
Mm.
So,
Because we was all Ramsdale lovers, weren't we?
Yeah.
All of us.
but I think if anything, it's taught me over the last 24 months. If Arteta wants him, then I want him.
Yeah.
I think he's earned that, hasn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, so your 2023 revenue, according to Deloitte, is 463 million, and you can spend up to 85% of that. So it makes me wonder why.
But who you getting in? Who you getting in, Adam?
Well, as a striker,
Yeah, who you getting
I'm
in?
an Arsenal manager.
No. I mean, we could all say that. We could,
I could say having the West End what you want. I'm not Mikel Arteta.
No, but but we can all say that. None of us, our managers, are all sitting there. But
That's the thing. It's like what striker is available. Like if you had 150 million pounds to spend on a striker to solve all your goal scoring problems, who's available for that?
But you're probably going to need 250 million to do that, because let's be honest, we're all going after Highland. If you're going to have anyone, that's who you want. And Man City ain't not going to sell him.
Would you?
It will probably be double that because of his wages and his agent's fee.
Easy.
So that all comes in part of the ruling, doesn't it?
Me and Adam spoke about this the other day. Would you have Kane?
100%.
That's exactly. He asked me the same question. I went, yes, yes.
It's like Man United going, would you take Van Persie to win you the league? Yeah, 100%. And that's what you went and done.
I would have Kane tomorrow. You know what? When I saw that quote,
Yeah, but typically you'd sign him and you still want him.
that'd be no. To be fair,
Ultimate fuckery from Tottenham.
when we've signed Spurs players in the past, they've become club legends and
and Invincibles. Can I just throw that?
Invincibles, that's true. So I think I would have Harry Kane. I do worry. I would worry about his fitness, but then I also don't hate Havertz or Jesus. So
yeah, I think you just got to put. You got to take a leaf out of Alex Ferguson's book and go. I'm just going to buy one of the best strikers in the Premier League from a club that's outside top four. I'd just go and get Ollie Watkins.
I said that.
I'd say to Aston Villa that it's 100 million for Ollie Watkins, take it or leave it, and they'll probably take it. They'll probably take it.
I don't think it would take 100 either.
Yeah, and I think Arsenal's just got to have that bullying sort of attitude that they're not known for, and I think that's how you win titles, because you've got to dominate the transfer market, especially as a massive, like huge club like you are. Like I'm not being sarcastic in that. I'm being honest. Like you're massive. Like you've got to put your foot down and you've got to put a stamp on it, like what you did with us with Rice. You know, you just went and go, well, okay, we're buying Rice. We'll bid 80, we'll bid 90, we'll bid 100, 105. But we're going to buy him, whatever it costs, and you end up doing it.
And what a difference he's made, yeah.
What a difference! Like you went and bought Ollie Watkins, it's like, mate, you just give it a
massive buzz, yeah.
Yeah,
I would also take Watkins. In the Premier League, he was my first.
Yeah,
he was the first that I thought we could actually buy him. We couldn't buy Haaland, but we could buy Watkins.
Then that money would allow Aston Villa to buy João Felix. So they've been after. So it is a snowball effect, isn't it? Like one big transfer like that will just encourage so many different transfers, and maybe Aston Villa might even get Jack Grealish back.
Do you know what though? I think we spoke about this the other day as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Grealish did leave Man City this window, and I would have him at Arsenal.
You know, the club I can see him going to the most, and it's the same applies to Rashford as well. Spurs.
No.
Because I just think it's just that character.
I think he's too good.
I'm sorry, Grealish and Rashford at Spurs.
No, I can actually see. I could see Grealish going to Spurs. 100%.
It's that sort of sign.
I could see Rashford coming to Arsenal.
I could see Rashford over Arsenal.
I'd rather Watkins, but I could see Rashford coming to Arsenal.
It's funny you said that, because the three I said to Adam the other day was I'd go Watkins, Rashford, Solanke, and then Tony. I think they were the four that I said to you.
Well, they're the obvious ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're the ones that have been in and around the goal scoring charts, and Spurs again have put their mentality down to put the other league on notice by just snapping him up, snapping Solanke up. But going back to West Ham in terms of the expenditure that what we've had, part of me still feels something's going to happen towards the end of the window and it's just going to completely deflate the entire transfer window.
Like a Bowen going.
No, after he's been announced captain, that would be great. I can see Kudus going.
And see.
I can see Kudus going for big money, because I think, knowing the West Ham owners, they've spent all this money. Like, right, okay, and I can see him going Arsenal. I really like as that number 10, and then you put Havertz up. Havertz. It's mixed.
Really? So I don't see it.
I can see it, and I think marketing-wise, because he's Ghanaian, and I'm not saying the demographic of it, but I think you've got such a big following in the African continent. I think you get your money back on it. It just makes sense. But I think when Edu said be patient, and I think what with us two clubs having a relationship over Rice last year, and I think you might. It's just the scepticism in me saying. I think our star boy might go, because we've spent all this money, we've built this team, we've bought players in this sort of position. Somerville, Guilherme, we've still got Bowen. It just part of me thinks, is there going to be some sort of recuperation process by selling Kudus, because we couldn't sell Paqueta this summer?
I like what you're saying. I do like it. No, I do like it.
I hate it, but it's just the fear in me. I just hope the next 2 weeks go as quickly as they possibly could, just so we keep all these players and then we get top 4.
I think Man City is more likely in the Premier League.
Well, now Oscar Bobb's broke his leg as well.
Yeah, I know, and obviously Alvarez. I don't see where you're playing Kudus in this Arsenal team, though. He's not better than Saka, is he? So, and I'm saying that with chest.
Well, Saka's not better than Bowen, is it? So that's not going to happen. So.
I don't know where we're going, because we're not trying to buy Bowen, apparently, by your logic.
It was Cal. Cal said it.
Oh, right, okay. But
I said just going. I didn't say come to Arsenal. I just said just leaving. He might go to Fulham and keep them up.
I don't know where he'd play. I just don't know where he'd play, because Kudus is a great player. And you wouldn't want to play every week. He's not a 10, though, is he?
I think he's a number 10. And I think that's where he'll play this year. I think with West Ham's front three.
Are you playing, if he was at Arsenal, are you playing this sort of like interchangeable 9 with
Interestingly, in pre-season, sorry to interrupt. Interestingly, in pre-season, although we've only won one game, he's been playing in a front 2 when we've been playing 3-5-2. So I thought, that's a bit weird that Kudus is playing in a sort of striker role and then dropping back. So maybe that could be. I hope it doesn't happen. For the record, I hope it never happens, that we never sell another key player to Arsenal again. But the fear in me makes me doubt whether West Ham will be as honest and genuine as they are with their transfer activity by recouping by selling one of our star assets again.
I don't think Arsenal are going to give you another 100 million this summer either. I just don't see it. And I think that's what most West Ham fans will be saying. It's got to be 100 million. It's got to be 100 million. And I know it's hypothetical, but I just don't see Arsenal giving West Ham another 100 million. Not this summer.
Fair enough.
Maybe Man City, though.
Maybe Man City. Yeah, but if Kudus wants to play in League 2, he's welcome to.
That's the other thing. That is the other thing, isn't it? I just think, there's going to be a lot of players who are potentially put off or question moves because there is this lawsuit that they're going to be fighting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think, obviously, I know you can't really talk about it, but
yeah. Well, we might be able to. Might be able to when it gets put into the courts soon, and then everyone will know the truth.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
So what happens with that? Okay, guys. So we've got a question for the pod from one of our listeners, and funny enough, it's from my dad. So my dad's sent me a message.
We've got loads of listeners.
Yeah. So he actually replied to our comment on YouTube. We are on YouTube, guys. And he said, "Why have you all grown beards?"
Not me.
And
I'm clean shaven.
You shaved it.
I'm completely clean shaven.
Yeah. Well, why have we grown beards?
Well, I grew a beard mostly because I wanted to grow a moustache, and me and Callum don't have no top lip. Our family genes are no top lip, so I grew a beard and mostly a moustache to kind of hide the fact that I don't have much of a face definition going on beneath my nose down.
Yeah. And before you shaved, why did you grow your beard?
Do you know why? Well, I get a real bad shaving rash. So it's easy just not to shave. But now I found a razor that doesn't give me shaving rash, so I'm shaving.
What's the razor? Any recommendations to the dads out there that want to have a...
It's is it bronze or whatever it's called? Bronze.
Sounds expensive.
Yeah, I've got it in the south. Don't worry about that. I think it's like wet and shave. No, I did. No, it's before I went away. I started using it and it's fantastic. So I actually quite like being clean shaven. It takes about 10 years off your age, doesn't it?
No, but Kelly's 4 years older than me, so she likes me to look a little bit older. As we say.
Fair enough. The reason I grow mine is to hide my double chin. So, so I can nicely trim it so that it goes just over the top.
That's secretly why we all have a beard.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Connie's only ever known me by having a long facial hair, not long facial hair, but like just facial growth. So for me to be clean shaven, I think I might scare her. And if I do shave, clean shave, I'll look like a Milky Bar kid, so I want to avoid that as much as possible.
Your dog won't recognise you, and that dog's got a bark on it, so Jesus.
And that's it, and that's the end of our first official episode. There's a free in the Cowboy studio. I did notice as I was trying to put the laptop on the desk that there was a cowboy book on the bookshelf.
I've got a massive collection. To be fair, that's only some of them stuff in the loft, but I've got a massive cowboy collection.
Yeah. So maybe one episode we could, if there's any cowboy fans out there that want to comment and ask Cowboy Cal a question, it'll be great.
Well, if it went anything by the last game, I'll be struggling. So.
And that's it. And we'll see you next week. And see you later.
Thank you.